All right, it's time to liven this complexion back up and get ready for the day. Welcome back, you guys. I thought we would sit down, do some makeup. I need to get ready for the day and thought it would be fun to use some of the holiday makeup that I've gotten in. I've been especially drawn to this Tarte Gilded Glamour palette, which this actually comes with 2 palettes, but the one that I've been loving is the warmer toned palette. It's super pretty. So let's sit down, get ready, and let's go ahead and get started. I haven't really gotten a ton of new like complexion products in though for holiday, which makes sense. I feel like brands don't typically do limited edition release of like foundations and primers and stuff. So we are using my fave, my current go-to, the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion in the shade medium. You guys already know I love this foundation. It's the Makeup Forever HD foundation in 2N22. So we are just sticking with what I love, and we're using this again. I did a recent video, like a chit chatty everyday get ready with me, and I used both of these products last time. So this might feel redundant, but I promise I'm gonna switch it up. Not switching it up quite yet because I decided to still use the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I used this in my last video, but I wasn't kidding when I said I love it, and I haven't gotten any concealers like I mentioned in for holiday. So we're gonna use this because she is trusty little product. I'm always very happy with my makeup any and every time that I use it. So DIBS, who I love, they have a few different holiday bundles that you can do, and one of them is basically the entire collection of the Desert Island Duos. You get all of them for like a discounted rate. So that's what they sent me for my little holiday treat from them. So thank you all so much. So usually I love shade 2. That's kind of like my go-to. I love shade 1 as well, but 1 and 2 have kind of been my go-to colors. I thought it might be fun to pick out a different shade though that I haven't been using, just to try it out and do something different. So let's open 4 and 5 and see what those look like. I used shade 2 in my last Get Ready With Me video, and it is stunning. Ooh, okay. So here is the bronzer on this. I feel like it might have a little bit of a red undertone to it. Oh, the blush is really pretty. That's the blush on 4. This is technically 5.5. 5.5. So let's see what this one looks like. Okay, I'm a little scared, but I think this could actually work. I just swatched it on my hand, and I think it could be like a really gorgeous contour shade. So let's just give it a go. Try something different, try something new. It's definitely like more of a rich brown compared to shade 2 that I usually use, but I think it will still be really pretty. I think this will work. And truly, I love the Desert Island Duo sticks. It's just so convenient that it comes with bronzer and blush, and I love the formula. It always blends out really nicely. I think I need to move my hair. And they just always look super pretty. Okay, not bad. I feel like the color is actually pretty nice. It's definitely like darker than what I typically use, but I feel like it just kind of sculpts everything a little bit more than maybe the shade 2 even does. So not mad about it. I think this will be cute. And rather than use the DIBS blush, which I would love to use, but we'll do that at a later time, I thought I would use this. I got this little set from Rare Beauty. It's a blush trio. I think I've shared this also in another Sephora video, but I haven't actually like shared what it looks like on. So this is one that they sent me, but then I had purchased it. So this is the one that I've opened. It comes with a mini of Happy. It comes with a mini of Truth, and then it comes with a full size of the shade Encourage. And I really want to use the shade Happy, so let's do it. And if you've ever tried a Rare Beauty blush, you already know this is so pigmented. You don't need too much product, just a little, and it gives you so much color. But this shade I think is always nice, and especially with using a darker tone bronzer like I did today, I feel like it will help balance everything out nicely and just give a little life back into my skin. It's looking really good. I'm gonna set my face and then I'll come back and we can bronze and blush and then do our eyes. I'm set and bronzed, but you all know me, I like to layer, and I got this Glamazon palette in from Tarte, and it has a pretty bronzer shade that has a little shimmer in it, which sometimes I stay away from, but every now and then I don't mind using something like this. So this is the palette. It has the bronzer, 2 blushes, and then a highlight, and the compact is pretty. It has a big mirror. So I figured let's use this as like my little layering bronzer today. It's had some warmth in rather than my e.l.f. one that I typically use. Definitely has shimmer, so if you don't like shimmer, then I would recommend not using this, but I don't mind that, especially if it's like festive or for an event, you just want to be like a little bit more glammed up. I think this is pretty. And this brush I cannot recommend enough. It's from Wet n Wild. I think it's literally, I'm pretty sure this is like $3. But when I'm doing this technique of layering bronzers, I like using a larger fluffy brush like this because I just think it gives you a lot of control to kind of just like dust it on, stamp it on, and not go in too heavy. So I just really like how this distributes and applies the product. I really like how this looks on my nose actually. I think this is perfect. It didn't add like too much warmth, but I can definitely tell that there's shimmer on my cheeks now, and I feel like it's a nice touch. Okay, and I know this has blush in it, but I really have been loving this palette from Tarte. This is their Precious Gems palette, and this is all cheek. It's all blushes, 6 blushes, mirror, super, super pretty. I have been loving this so much. And this shade here, actually there's 2 that I've been loving. I've been loving this shade and this pinky shade. It gives the perfect little flush and pop on the cheeks, and I think either of these would look really pretty layered on top of the Happy blush from Rare Beauty. So I'm gonna use the shade Gemstone. It's this one here. But I love having a little bit of warmth like this, especially in winter. I just feel like it makes you look alive. And like you just pinched your cheek. I don't know, it's the perfect flush. So everything on my body is so dry right now. It's really just not my fave. My nose has been bleeding, so I have like a scab in my nose, which is gross, but I have to imagine I'm not the only one that this happens to when it gets cold out. My lips, I feel like, are so dry. My whole entire body is dry. I'm not thriving right now. Okay, but like that is so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. And I really like this palette because I do think that holiday palettes can be hard sometimes just because they're limited edition, and I feel like it can be hard to justify spending the money on something if you don't like every shade or don't feel like you're gonna get the use out of the entire palette. But this is one where I do feel like every shade is really usable and wearable, and I would use every single shade. So I like that a lot. This one is kind of like a hybrid blush highlight. It's not like super blinding in your face, but if you wanted some glow, this shade is pretty. Officially that time, it is that point in my routine where I would do my shadow. So let me tell you about this set, because the Gilded Glamour set from Tarte comes with 2 palettes, which I think I mentioned earlier. One is cool toned, one is warm toned. I've been loving the warm toned palette, but the cool tone palette also stunning. So this is the warm tone. It has so many different variations of mattes, shimmers. It has some neutral shades, some pops of color. I really love the color story in this, and I feel like it is totally wearable year round, which is one of the reasons I feel like I've been drawn to it so much. You can do everyday, more natural looks. You can do an all matte eye that's just neutral, simple, or with the shimmer shades that it has and the pops of color, you can do something a little bit more elevated, like for a holiday party, an event, or just something, I don't know, a little bit more glam. And then the Cool Tone palette looks like this, and the colors in here are stunning as well. I have shared a Reels using this where I did a super wearable look using the shades in this palette. I love some of the more neutral shades in here that are matte especially. Maybe I've done 2 looks using this palette actually because I like it so much. I've done a look using the green shade as liner, which was really fun. And then I've done a more neutral look using some of these shades here, just for more of a taupey matte everyday sort of shadow. But they're super pretty and I love that you get both. This is one where if you wanted to gift both palettes, you could. If you wanted to keep one, gift one, you could. If you wanted to keep both, I mean, even better. To me, this is definitely a combo where you're gonna get a lot of use out of both palettes, just because of the way that they're designed and all the pretty shades that are in each one. And I will add in some swatches of these palettes too, just so you can see what they look like as well, get a better idea of some of the shades and finishes of each one, because I feel like when you're deciding if you want to make a purchase, that's always super helpful to see. And I don't think I mentioned the price point, but it's $54 for both palettes, which I feel like is a pretty good deal since you get 2 18 pan palettes. Okay, so for my look today, I'm gonna start off with the shade Dame. It's this brown neutrally color here. I think it's such a pretty crease shade and just like a good starting point shade. And I always like the Tarte eyeshadow formulas. I think they're beautiful. This one blends out really nicely and I love the warmth that it has. Definitely buildable too, so you can certainly pack on and layer up the color. And then I'm gonna take the shade Bright Lights. It's this shimmery color here, and it's kind of like, I would say it's a pinky toned shimmer, and I'm just gonna apply it with my finger. I think it's so gorgeous. This has kind of been my go-to look, and again, as you'll see, it's not super complicated. Like, it creates a really pretty eye look without too many steps or being overly complicated, which I like. And I'm just taking my first brush and kind of dusting back and forth to blend. And the shimmer formula for these shades is super pretty too. I feel like it just glides right on. Okay, and I'm gonna do a shadow wing, but what I've really been liking with this palette is using one of the redder or more purple tone shades for liner. I think it's super pretty. I think for today's look, I'm gonna go in and use the shade Jazz. It's kind of a maroon color, but I really like that sort of shade with my eyes. I think it contrasts nicely. And just to switch things up, dress it up a bit, I feel like it's a fun color. And I feel like switching the shade up for the wing liner is so discreet. It's not super noticeable, but I notice it, and I feel like it's just a small little detail that can really shift the look. Yeah, you might not be able to see it from far away, but up close, like, it definitely is showing that purple tone, and I think it's so pretty. I do feel like an inner corner shimmer would be fun, so I'm torn whether I should use the shade Elegant or Glamour right here. I say let's start with Glamour, and if I feel like it's not doing enough, then we can add a little bit of the white. I think this is pretty. I think this is really nice. It does add a little shimmer, and it's a little lighter than the shadow on my lid. But it's not too, like, contrasty. It's not too bright. But I do kind of feel like the more I packed it on, the pinker it got. I don't know that I love that, so I'm just gonna mix a little bit of the shade Elegant in and see if I can just brighten it up a tad. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my god, that's nice. I like that combo a lot, actually. I mean, it's an added step, but that way it gives a little brightness, but it's not stark white, you know. Tarte had some really good mascara trios that came out for holiday. These would be my 2 recommendations of the different like sets and variations that you can pick up, because these have my favorite ones in them. Maneater is my all-time favorite Tarte mascara. So this might be my top recommendation of the 2 that I love. But the tubing mascara is amazing, and lights, camera, action you cannot go wrong with. So this is $40 and you get 3 full-size mascaras. This other one is an amazing trio as well. It has the tubing mascara, lights, camera, lashes, and then it has the surfer curl mascara, which I do also love. And like I mentioned, there's some other different mascara trios that you can pick up, but out of all of them, these are the 2 that I love the most, with probably this being my first choice since it does have the Maneater mascara in it. And I used Maneater mascara last time I did a get ready with me video, so let's use the Tartelette tubing mascara this time so you all can see that and get a feel for it. I'm not going to open these yet since I have a full size that is open currently, but I just wanted to show those to you all in case you are doing some last minute shopping or for yourself. But I love holiday sets, and so when something comes out that I've been wanting to try or that I use a lot and I can get it in a bundle, and it's like even more worth my money than if I was going to buy it on its own, I just do that. So this one I feel like is really nice because it does a great job at coating each lash, and I do feel like it makes your lashes look like jet black, which I always like. I feel like it does a nice job of like fanning all of your lashes out perfectly too. And lastly, all we have left right now is lips. So I'm gonna use this little set that I got in from Rare Beauty. This is part of their Holiday 2022 collection. It's a little duo of their lipstick and liner in Humble, and I love this shade. It's very close to Pillow Talk, but it's a really pretty color that I like a lot. Oh my gosh, cute. And this I think is gonna be so nice to have for travel or just when I'm going out instead of having to, oh, look how cute she is. Put a full-size lipstick and liner in my bag. Having this is gonna be so nice. I love the liner formula so much too. It just glides right on. It makes it super easy to apply. I don't know why I ever try to talk while I'm doing my liner. It's always a fail. Okay, apologies for the barking. Don't know what's happening or going on, but here's the lipstick and let's put this on. What is happening? This is feeling a little darker than I was thinking. I'm gonna get a gloss, 1 second. Okay, I found Meg. She was buried in the bottom of my makeup bag, so let's give her a try. It's not quite as light as I was thinking, like the lip in general, not this gloss, but I actually like it. All right, you guys, so this is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it came out, and I'm glad I could show you guys the Gilded palette because it's one I've been grabbing for a lot and really like to use, and I've just really liked the versatility of looks that I've been able to do with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this look and how it all came together and some of the holiday products that I've gotten in this year. And if you're wondering, yes, I am literally wearing pajamas and I'm not changing. This set is so cute though. It's from Abercrombie, but we are gonna be cooking dinner later tonight and putting out our Christmas decoration. So I just feel like elevated comfy is the look. So now we have my makeup good to go, and this satin black PJ set is just a whole vibe. We love it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning back in and watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if there's any other makeup products you want to see used or any other looks that you would like to see from me coming up. But I love you all so much, and until next time.
Sweet concussion.